Azure has changed the way businesses approach IT infrastructure by shifting development costs from capital expenses, CapEx, to operational expenses, OpEx. Instead of investing heavily in building and maintaining on-premises infrastructure and facilities, organizations can now rent the infrastructure they need on demand. This paradigm shift applies to various resources, including compute, storage, and networking. However, it's crucial to understand that the OpEx costs in Azure can be influenced by several factors. Let's explore these key elements that impact your Azure expenses. Resource type. Different Azure resources come with varying price points. For instance, the cost of a virtual machine may differ significantly from that of a storage account or a database service. Consumption. Your usage patterns play a vital role in determining costs. Azure's pay-as-you-go model means you're billed based on the resources you actually consume. Maintenance. While Azure handles much of the underlying infrastructure maintenance, certain aspects of your deployed resources may require ongoing management, potentially affecting overall costs. Geography. The Azure region you choose for your resources can impact pricing. Costs may vary between different geographic locations due to factors like local infrastructure and market conditions. Subscription type. Azure offers various subscription options, each with its own pricing structure and benefits. Your chosen subscription type can influence your overall costs. Azure Marketplace. When utilizing third-party solutions or services from the Azure Marketplace, additional costs may be incurred beyond standard Azure resource pricing. When it comes to Azure costs, the type of resources you choose plays a pivotal role. It's not just about selecting a resource. Various factors within that selection can significantly impact your expenses. Let's explore these elements in more detail. Firstly, the resource type itself is a primary cost determinant. Different Azure services come with their own pricing structures. For instance, the cost considerations for a virtual machine differ greatly from those of a storage account or a database service. Secondly, the configuration settings you choose for your resources can have a substantial impact on costs. Take a storage account as an example. When setting up storage, you'll make decisions about the type such as blob storage, performance tier, access tier, and redundancy settings. Each of these choices can influence the final cost of your storage solution. The Azure region where you deploy your resources is another crucial factor. The same resource provisioned in different regions may have varying costs due to factors like local infrastructure expenses and market conditions. It's important to understand that when you provision an Azure resource, the platform creates metered instances for that resource. These meters serve a vital purpose. They track the resource's usage and generate a usage record. This record forms the foundation for calculating your bill, ensuring you're charged accurately for your actual consumption. Let's consider a practical example. When creating a virtual machine, several factors come into play that affect its cost. The licensing for the operating system or any other software installed on the VM, the processor type and number of cores allocated to the VM, the amount and type of storage attached to the VM, the network interface configuration. Moreover, just as with storage accounts, provisioning the same virtual machine specifications in different Azure regions may result in different costs. Azure's pricing model is built on the foundation of flexibility and cost-effectiveness. The pay-as-you-go model has been a cornerstone of cloud computing, allowing businesses to align their costs directly with their usage. This approach offers unparalleled flexibility. If your resource consumption increases in a given billing cycle, your costs will reflect that increase. Conversely, if you use fewer resources, you'll see a corresponding decrease in your bill. However, Azure has evolved beyond this basic model to offer even more cost-saving opportunities for businesses with predictable workloads. Enter the concept of reserved capacity. This option allows you to commit to using a predetermined amount of cloud resources in advance in exchange for significant discounts. These discounts can be substantial, reaching up to 72% in some cases, making it an attractive option for organizations with stable, consistent resource needs. Reserved capacity is available for a wide range of Azure services, including databases, compute resources, and storage solutions. When you opt for reserved capacity, you're typically committing to a usage level for a period of 1 or 3 years. This commitment allows Azure to optimize its resource allocation, passing the savings on to you. One of the most powerful aspects of this model is its hybrid nature. While you benefit from the discounts on your reserved capacity, you're not locked into that limit. If you experience a sudden surge in demand that exceeds your reservation, Azure's pay-as-you-go model seamlessly kicks in. You'll simply pay for the additional resources beyond your reservation at the standard rate. This hybrid approach offers the best of both worlds. You can achieve significant savings on your predictable, baseline workloads through reservations, while still maintaining the flexibility to rapidly scale up your cloud footprint as needed. It's a strategic approach to cost management that allows businesses to optimize their cloud spending without sacrificing the ability to respond to changing demands. As you plan your Azure resource strategy, consider carefully which workloads are consistent and predictable. These are prime candidates for reserved capacity, potentially leading to substantial cost savings over time. Meanwhile, keep the pay-as-you-go model in mind for more variable workloads or for handling unexpected spikes in demand. The cloud's inherent flexibility allows for rapid adjustment of resources based on demand. It also requires vigilant maintenance to ensure optimal cost efficiency. Let's explore some key strategies for maintaining your Azure environment to control costs effectively. Resource groups serve as a powerful organizational tool in Azure. By logically grouping related resources together, you gain better visibility and management capabilities. This organization is crucial for identifying and tracking resources, especially as your cloud footprint grows. When provisioning a virtual machine, VM, it's important to remember that it doesn't exist in isolation. Additional resources such as storage and networking are automatically provisioned to support the VM. Here's where careful maintenance becomes critical. When you deprovision a VM, these associated resources may not automatically deprovision along with it. This scenario can lead to what's often referred to as cloud waste, resources that continue to incur costs despite no longer being needed. These orphaned resources can significantly impact your cloud spending if left unchecked. To mitigate this risk, it's essential to implement a regular review process for your Azure resources. This maintenance routine should include identifying unused or underutilized resources, verifying that all components of deprovisioned services have been properly removed, right-sizing resources based on actual usage patterns, implementing automation to shut down or scale back resources during periods of low demand. Remember, the cloud's pay-as-you-go model means you're billed for resources as long as they exist, regardless of whether they're actively used. By maintaining a clean and efficient Azure environment, you ensure that you're only paying for resources that are actively contributing to your operations. Consider implementing Azure Policy to enforce tagging standards, which can help identify the purpose, owner, and lifespan of resources. This metadata becomes invaluable during resource audits and cleanup efforts. Additionally, leverage Azure Advisor, which provides personalized recommendations for optimizing your Azure resources for high availability, security, performance, and cost. It can identify idle and underutilized resources, offering opportunities for significant cost savings. By making resource maintenance a regular part of your Azure management strategy, you can keep your cloud costs under control while still benefiting from the flexibility and scalability that Azure offers. Azure provides two powerful tools to help you understand and estimate potential expenses: the pricing calculator and the total cost of ownership (TCO) calculator. While both are designed to give you insights into Azure costs, they serve different purposes and are used at different stages of your cloud journey. The pricing calculator is your go-to tool when you're planning to deploy resources in Azure. Its primary function is to provide an estimated cost for provisioning specific Azure resources. Here's what you need to know about the pricing calculator. Resource specific. You can get cost estimates for individual resources, from virtual machines to storage accounts. Solution building. It allows you to build out entire solutions, combining multiple resources to see the overall cost. Scenario-based. You can use example scenarios to get a quick estimate of Azure spend for common configurations. Comprehensive coverage. The calculator covers a wide range of Azure services, including compute, storage, and networking costs. Customization. You can account for different options within each resource type, such as storage tiers, access options, and redundancy levels. On the other hand, the total cost of ownership, TCO calculator, serves a different purpose. It's designed to help you compare the cost of running your infrastructure on-premises versus in Azure. Key features of the TCO calculator include comparative analysis. It helps you understand the potential cost savings of migrating to Azure. Holistic view. The TCO calculator considers not just the direct costs of running workloads, but also indirect savings from reduced power consumption, IT labor, and hardware costs. Migration focus. It's particularly useful when you're evaluating whether to migrate existing on-premises workloads to Azure. Customizable inputs. You can input your current infrastructure details to get a more accurate comparison. Long-term perspective. The TCO calculator typically provides a view of costs over a longer period, often 1 to 5 years. It's important to note that both calculators are for estimation purposes only. No resources are actually provisioned when you use these tools, and you won't be charged for any services you select while using them. They're designed to give you a clearer picture of potential costs to aid in your planning and decision-making processes. When planning your Azure strategy, consider using both calculators in tandem. Start with the TCO calculator to evaluate the overall financial impact of moving to Azure. Once you've decided to proceed with Azure, use the pricing calculator to get more detailed estimates for the specific resources and solutions you plan to implement. Remember, while these tools provide valuable estimates, actual costs may vary based on factors such as usage patterns, reservation discounts, and changes in Azure pricing. Regular monitoring and optimization of your Azure resources remain crucial for effective cost management. Keeping track of costs can be a challenging task. Microsoft's cost management tool is designed to address this challenge, providing Azure users with powerful features to monitor, analyze, and optimize their cloud spending. Cost management is an integral service within the Azure ecosystem, offering a suite of tools that help you maintain financial accountability and operational efficiency. Let's explore its key features and benefits. Real-time cost monitoring. Cost management provides up-to-the-minute visibility into your Azure resource costs. This real-time monitoring allows you to track spending as it occurs, rather than waiting for end-of-month surprises. Custom cost alerts. You can set up personalized alerts based on your specific spending criteria. These alerts can notify you when costs reach certain thresholds, helping you stay proactive in managing your budget. Budget creation and management. The tool allows you to create and manage budgets for your Azure resources. These budgets can be used to trigger automated actions, such as shutting down or scaling back resources when spending limits are approached. Cost analysis. Visualization. Cost analysis, a subset of cost management, provides intuitive visual representations of your Azure costs. These visualizations make it easy to understand complex cost data at a glance. Spending trend identification. By analyzing historical cost data, cost management helps you identify spending trends over time. This feature is crucial for forecasting future expenses and optimizing long-term cloud strategies. Resource cost breakdown. The tool offers detailed breakdowns of costs by various factors such as resource type, region, tag, and more. This granular view helps you pinpoint exactly where your money is being spent. Aggregated cost views. For organizations managing multiple Azure subscriptions, cost management can provide aggregated views of costs across the entire organization, giving a holistic picture of cloud spending. Cost estimation. By analyzing spending trends, cost management can help you estimate future costs. This feature is invaluable for budgeting and capacity planning. Optimization recommendations. The tool can provide recommendations for optimizing your resource usage and reducing costs based on your specific usage patterns. Integration with Azure. Advisor Cost Management works in tandem with Azure Advisor to provide cost optimization recommendations, ensuring you're getting the most value from your Azure investment. By leveraging these features, you can avoid situations where resources are provisioned and forgotten, leading to unexpected costs. Whether you're testing a new feature, responding to a sudden demand spike, or simply managing your day-to-day operations, cost management gives you the tools to stay in control of your Azure spending. Remember, in the cloud, financial optimization is an ongoing process. Regularly review your cost management. Azure's Cost Management Service provides powerful tools for monitoring and controlling your cloud spending. Two key features of this service are cost alerts and budgets. Let's delve into these features to understand how they can help you maintain financial control over your Azure resources. Cost alerts. Cost alerts serve as a centralized notification system for various spending-related events in Azure. There are three main types of cost alerts. Budget alerts. These alerts are triggered when your spending, based on either usage or cost, reaches or exceeds the amount defined in your budget's alert conditions. Budget alerts can be set up in the Azure portal, cost-based, or using the Azure Consumption API, cost or usage-based. When a budget alert is triggered, it appears in the Cost Alerts section of the Azure portal, and an email is sent to designated recipients. Credit alerts. Specific to organizations with enterprise agreements, EAs, credit alerts notify you when your Azure credit monetary commitments are being consumed. These alerts are automatically generated at 90% and 100% of your Azure credit balance. Like budget alerts, they appear in the Cost Alerts section and trigger email notifications to account owners. Department spending quota. Alerts. These alerts are relevant to organizations using the EA portal to manage departmental spending. They notify you when a department's spending reaches certain thresholds of its assigned quota, such as 50% or 75%. These alerts appear in the Cost Alerts section and trigger emails to department owners. Budgets. Budgets are a proactive tool for setting and managing spending limits in Azure. Here's what you need to know about budgets. Scope. You can set budgets at various levels, including subscription, resource group, or service type. This flexibility allows for granular control over different aspects of your Azure spending. Alert thresholds. When setting a budget, you define alert thresholds. These are the spending levels at which you want to be notified. For example, you might set alerts at 50%, 75%, and 90% of your budget. Notification system. When spending reaches an alert threshold, it triggers a notification. This appears in the Cost Alert section of the Azure portal, and if configured, sends an email to designated recipients. Automation triggers. One of the most powerful features of budgets is their ability to trigger automated actions. When a budget threshold is reached, you can set up automation to modify resources. For example, you could automatically scale down certain resources or suspend non-critical services to prevent overspending. Forecasting. Budgets aren't just about current spending. They also consider forecasted costs, allowing you to take preemptive action if it looks like you're on track to exceed your budget. Customization. Budgets can be customized based on various criteria, allowing you to create targeted budgets for specific projects, departments, or resource types. Best practices for using cost alerts and budgets. Start with conservative alerts. Set your initial alert thresholds lower than you might think necessary. This gives you more time to react to spending trends. Use multiple thresholds. Don't just set an alert at 90% of your budget. Use multiple thresholds, e.g. 50%, 75%, 90%, to keep a close eye on spending progression. Designate alert recipients carefully. Ensure that the people receiving alert notifications are in a position to take action if needed. Regularly review and adjust. Your budgets and alert thresholds should be reviewed regularly and adjusted based on changing business needs and spending patterns. Leverage automation. Where possible, use budget-triggered automation to take immediate action on non-critical resources when thresholds are reached. Combine with tags. Use Azure tags in conjunction with budgets to create more targeted and meaningful budget tracking. As organizations scale their cloud infrastructure, maintaining clarity and organization becomes increasingly crucial. Azure tags serve as a powerful tool in this regard, providing a flexible and efficient way to add metadata to your cloud resources. This additional information proves invaluable across various aspects of cloud management. Let's explore the key purposes and benefits of using tags in Azure. Resource management. Tags enable you to quickly locate and act on resources associated with specific workloads, environments, business units, or owners. For instance, you could use tags to identify all resources related to a particular project or belonging to a specific department. This categorization makes it easier to manage and organize resources at scale, especially in complex environments with numerous resources spread across multiple subscriptions and resource groups. Cost management and optimization. One of the most significant benefits of tags is their role in cost management. By tagging resources you can group resources for cost reporting, allocate expenses to internal cost centers, track budgets more effectively, forecast estimated costs. For example, you could use tags to identify high-cost resources, track spending by project or department, or quickly identify unused or underutilized resources that could be optimized or decommissioned. Operations management. Tags allow you to group resources according to their criticality to your business operations. This categorization is crucial for formulating and managing service-level agreements, SLAs. For instance, you could tag resources as mission-critical, important, or non-critical to prioritize support and maintenance activities. Security. In the realm of security, tags play a vital role in data classification. You can use tags to indicate the security level of the data associated with a resource, such as public, internal, or confidential. This classification helps ensure that appropriate security measures are applied to resources handling sensitive data. Governance and regulatory compliance. Tags are instrumental in maintaining governance and ensuring regulatory compliance. You can use tags to identify resources that align with specific compliance requirements, e.g. GDPR, HIPAA, ISO 27001. Enforce organizational standards by requiring certain tags, e.g., mandatory owner or department tags. Track resources subject to specific regulatory requirements. Workload optimization and automation. In complex deployments, tags help visualize all resources participating in a particular workload or application. This visibility is crucial for optimization efforts. Furthermore, tags can be leveraged in automation scenarios. For example, you could use Azure DevOps to perform automated tasks on resources with specific tags, such as scheduling backups or applying updates. Best practices for using Azure tags. Develop a consistent naming convention. Establish a standardized tagging strategy across your organization to ensure consistency and avoid confusion. Automate tag application. Where possible, use Azure policy to automatically apply tags to resources based on predefined rules. Regularly review and update tags. As your organization evolves, so should your tagging strategy. Regularly review and update tags to ensure they remain relevant and useful. Use tags in combination with other organization tools. While powerful, tags work best when used in conjunction with other Azure organizational features like subscriptions and resource groups. Limit tag proliferation. While tags are useful, too many tags can become unwieldy. Focus on creating tags that provide clear, actionable information. Educate your team. Ensure that all team members understand the importance of tags and how to use them correctly. Leverage tags in reporting. Make full use of tags in your Azure cost management reports and dashboards to gain deeper insights into your cloud spending. By effectively utilizing tags, you can bring order to complex cloud environments, optimize costs, enhance security, and streamline operations. As your Azure footprint grows, a well-implemented tagging strategy becomes an invaluable asset in managing and optimizing your cloud resources. Effective management of resource tags is crucial for maintaining an organized and efficient Azure environment. Azure provides several methods for managing tags, along with powerful tools to enforce tagging policies across your resources. Let's explore the various aspects of managing resource tags in Azure. Tag management methods. Azure offers multiple ways to add, modify, or delete resource tags. A. Azure Portal. The most user-friendly method, ideal for small-scale tag management or for users less comfortable with command-line interfaces. B. Azure PowerShell. Offers scripting capabilities for tag management, useful for batch operations or automation. C. Azure CLI. Provides command-line options for tag management, suitable for cross-platform scripting and automation. D. Azure Resource Manager. Templates allows you to define tags as part of your infrastructure as code deployments. E. REST API. Enables programmatic tag management, useful for integration with custom applications or third-party tools. Azure Policy for Tag Management. Azure Policy is a powerful tool for enforcing tagging rules and conventions across your Azure resources. With Azure Policy, you can require specific tags to be added to new resources during provisioning. Define rules to reapply tags that have been removed. Ensure consistency in tag names and allowed values. Audit resources for compliance with tagging policies. Using Azure Policy for Tag Management helps maintain consistency and ensures that all resources adhere to your organization's tagging standards. Tag inheritance. It's important to note that resources do not automatically inherit tags from subscriptions and resource groups. This design allows for more flexible tagging schemas that can vary depending on the resource level, resource group subscription. While this flexibility is beneficial, it also means you need to be more deliberate in your tagging strategy to ensure consistency where needed. Example, tagging structure. A well-designed tagging structure can significantly enhance your resource management capabilities. Here's an example of a comprehensive tagging structure. App name. The name of the application that the resource is part of. Cost center. The internal cost center code for billing purposes. Owner. The name of the business owner responsible for the resource. Environment. Indicates the deployment environment, e.g., prod, dev, test. Impact. Describes the importance of the resource to business operations, e.g., mission critical, high impact, low impact. This structure provides a good balance of financial, operational, and technical metadata for each resource. Flexible tagging approach. While having a structured tagging policy is important, it's equally crucial to maintain flexibility. Not all tags need to be present on all resources. For example, you might decide that only mission-critical resources require the impact tag. This approach allows for a more nuanced and practical tagging strategy. Best practices for managing resource tags. Develop a comprehensive tagging strategy. Before implementing tags, Develop a clear strategy that outlines which tags are required, optional, and how they should be used. Use Azure Policy for enforcement. Leverage Azure Policy to automatically enforce your tagging rules, ensuring consistency across your Azure environment. Implement naming conventions. Establish clear naming conventions for tags to maintain consistency and avoid confusion. Regularly review and update tags. As your organization evolves, so should your tagging strategy. Regularly review and update your tags to ensure they remain relevant and useful. Automate tag management. Where possible, use scripts or Azure Resource Manager templates to automate the application of tags, especially for large-scale deployments. Educate your team. Ensure that all team members understand the importance of tags, how to apply them correctly, and the organization's tagging policies. Use tags in reporting and cost management. Leverage your tags in Azure, cost management, and other reporting tools to gain insights into resource usage and costs. Limit the number of tags. While tags are useful, too many tags can become unwieldy. Focus on creating tags that provide clear, actionable information. Consider tag lifecycle management. Implement processes for reviewing and updating tags as resources change owners, projects evolve, or business needs shift. A quick knowledge check with explanation of the correct answers. What Azure feature can help stay organized and track usage based on metadata associated with resources? Correct answer, A. Tags explanation. Tags in Azure are a powerful feature that allows you to add metadata to your resources. This metadata can include information such as the resource's purpose, owner, environment, or any other relevant details. Tags are crucial for organizing resources, tracking usage, managing costs, and enforcing governance policies. They enable you to quickly locate and act on resources associated with specific workloads, environments, or business units. What's the best method to estimate the cost of migrating to the cloud while incurring minimal costs? Correct answer, B. Use the total cost of ownership (TCO) calculator to estimate expected costs. Explanation. The total cost of ownership (TCO) calculator is specifically designed to help organizations estimate the costs of migrating to Azure without actually incurring any cloud expenses. It allows you to input your current on-premises infrastructure details and provides a comprehensive comparison of the costs associated with running that infrastructure in Azure versus on-premises. This approach is ideal for getting a detailed cost estimate without the need to migrate any actual workloads or data to the cloud. While the other options have some merit, they are not the best choices for estimating costs with minimal expenditure. A. Migrating a small sample to the cloud and tracking costs over time can provide accurate data, but it involves actual cloud usage and therefore incurs costs. It also may not provide a complete picture of the full migration costs. C. Migrating to the cloud and then tracking usage with tags is a good practice for ongoing cost management, but it involves fully committing to the cloud before understanding the potential costs, which could lead to unexpected expenses. The TCO calculator offers a risk-free, comprehensive way to estimate cloud migration costs, making it the best option for organizations looking to understand potential expenses before committing to a cloud migration. Microsoft Purview stands at the forefront of data governance solutions, offering a comprehensive approach to managing and securing your organization's data landscape. This powerful suite of tools brings together insights from various data sources, including on-premises systems, multi-cloud environments, and software-as-a-service applications. At its core, Microsoft Purview aims to provide a unified view of your entire data estate. This holistic perspective is achieved through several key features. Firstly, automated data discovery streamlines the process of identifying and cataloging data assets across your organization. This automation saves valuable time and resources while ensuring a more complete picture of your data landscape. Another crucial aspect of Microsoft Purview is its ability to perform sensitive data classification. In today's data-driven world, understanding which data is sensitive or subject to regulatory compliance is paramount. Microsoft Purview employs advanced algorithms to automatically classify data, helping you identify and protect sensitive information more effectively. Lastly, Microsoft Purview offers end-to-end data lineage. This feature allows you to trace the journey of your data from its origin through various transformations and uses. Such visibility is invaluable for understanding data provenance, ensuring data quality, and maintaining regulatory compliance. By leveraging these capabilities, Microsoft Purview empowers organizations to gain a deeper understanding of their data, enhance their data governance practices, and make more informed decisions based on a comprehensive view of their information assets. Microsoft Purview's risk and compliance solutions form a critical component of its overall data governance framework. These solutions are deeply integrated with Microsoft 365, leveraging popular services such as Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, and Exchange to provide robust data protection and compliance management capabilities. One of the primary functions of these solutions is to protect sensitive data across various platforms. In today's digital landscape, data often resides in multiple locations, from cloud storage to local devices. Microsoft Purview helps organizations safeguard this distributed data, regardless of where it's stored or how it's accessed. Identifying data risks is another crucial aspect of Microsoft Purview's risk and compliance solutions. The platform employs advanced analytics to detect potential vulnerabilities or anomalies in data usage patterns. This proactive approach allows organizations to address potential issues before they escalate into significant problems. Managing regulatory compliance requirements is a growing challenge for many organizations. Microsoft Purview simplifies this process by providing tools and features specifically designed to help meet various regulatory standards. From GDPR to HIPAA, Microsoft Purview offers guidance and automation to streamline compliance processes. Moreover, Microsoft Purview aids organizations in getting started with regulatory compliance. For businesses new to certain regulations or those expanding into new markets with different compliance requirements, this feature provides invaluable support. It offers a structured approach to understanding and implementing necessary compliance measures, reducing the complexity often associated with regulatory adherence. Microsoft Purview's unified data governance solutions represent a significant leap forward in managing data across diverse environments. These solutions are designed to handle data stored in various locations, including Azure, SQL, and Hive databases, on-premises systems, and even other cloud platforms like Amazon S3. This broad coverage ensures that organizations can maintain consistent governance practices across their entire data estate. A key feature of Microsoft Purview's unified data governance is its ability to create an up-to-date map of your entire data estate. This map includes comprehensive data classification and end-to-end lineage information. Such a holistic view is invaluable for understanding the relationships between different data assets and tracking how data flows through your organization. Identifying where sensitive data is stored across your estate is another crucial capability. In an era of increasing data privacy regulations, knowing the location and nature of sensitive data is paramount. Microsoft Purview's advanced scanning and classification technologies help pinpoint sensitive information, enabling you to apply appropriate protection measures. Microsoft Purview also focuses on creating a secure environment for data consumers to find valuable data. This feature promotes data democratization within your organization, allowing users to discover and utilize data assets effectively while maintaining necessary security controls. Generate insights about how your data is stored and used. These insights can inform strategic decisions about data management, storage optimization, and resource allocation. By understanding usage patterns, organizations can better align their data infrastructure with business needs. Lastly, Microsoft Purview enables you to manage access to data in your estate securely and at scale. This capability ensures that the right people have access to the right data at the right time, maintaining a balance between data utility and security. Azure Policy stands as a cornerstone in Microsoft's cloud governance strategy, offering organizations a powerful tool to maintain control and ensure compliance across their Azure environment. At its core, Azure Policy is designed to address the critical need for consistent resource management in increasingly complex cloud infrastructures. The primary purpose of Azure Policy is to enable organizations to create, assign, and manage policies that govern their Azure resources. These policies act as guardrails, defining the rules and effects that are applied to your resources. By doing so, Azure Policy helps ensure that your resource configurations align with your corporate standards and service level agreements. One of the key strengths of Azure Policy lies in its ability to control or audit resource configurations. This means you can not only set rules for how resources should be configured, but also monitor existing resources to ensure they remain compliant over time. This ongoing evaluation is crucial in maintaining a secure and efficient cloud environment. Furthermore, Azure Policy plays a vital role in enforcing compliance with corporate standards. In today's regulatory landscape, ensuring that all resources meet specific requirements is not just good practice, it's often a legal necessity. Azure Policy automates this process, reducing the risk of human error and ensuring consistent application of standards across your entire Azure estate. A particularly powerful feature of Azure Policy is its ability to prevent the creation of non-compliant resources. Rather than simply flagging issues after they occur, Azure Policy can stop non-compliant resources from being deployed in the first place. This proactive approach to governance saves time and resources by catching potential issues before they can impact your environment. By leveraging Azure Policy, organizations can ensure consistent resource compliance across their Azure environment, providing peace of mind and enabling them to focus on innovation rather than constantly monitoring for compliance issues. Azure Policy provides a flexible and comprehensive framework for defining and implementing governance rules across your Azure environment. Understanding how Azure Policy defines these rules is key to effectively leveraging its capabilities. At the most basic level, Azure Policy allows you to define individual policies. These are specific rules that target particular aspects of your resources. For example, you might create a policy that requires all storage accounts to use a certain level of encryption. However, Azure Policy goes beyond individual rules by introducing the concept of initiatives. An initiative is a collection of policy definitions that are tailored to achieving a singular overarching goal. This allows for more comprehensive governance strategies to be implemented and managed as a single entity. Once policies are defined, Azure Policy continuously evaluates your resources to ensure compliance. This evaluation process is not just a one-time check, but an ongoing assessment that ensures your resources remain compliant even as changes occur in your environment. When non-compliant resources are detected, Azure Policy highlights them, providing visibility into potential issues and enabling prompt remediation. One of the most powerful aspects of Azure Policy is its hierarchical application. Policies can be set at various levels within your Azure organization structure, from the broad management group level down to individual resources. What's more, these policies are inherited down the hierarchy. This means that a policy set at a higher level, such as a subscription, will automatically apply to all resource groups and resources within that subscription. This inheritance model ensures consistent policy application across your environment while reducing the administrative overhead of managing policies at each level. Azure Policy also comes with a wide range of built-in policy definitions covering various Azure services. These predefined policies cover common scenarios across areas such as storage, networking, compute, security center, and monitoring. For instance, there are built-in policies to ensure that only certain VM sizes are used, specific ports are closed, or that resources are tagged according to your organization's standards. These built-in definitions provide a solid starting point for your governance strategy, allowing you to implement best practices quickly and easily. By providing these flexible and powerful policy definition capabilities, Azure Policy enables organizations to implement comprehensive, consistent, and efficient governance strategies across their entire Azure environment. Azure Policy is equipped with a range of advanced features that enhance its capabilities beyond simple rule enforcement. These features provide organizations with greater control, flexibility, and integration capabilities, making Azure Policy a comprehensive solution for cloud governance. One of the standout features of Azure Policy is its ability to automatically remediate non-compliant resources. In many cases, when a resource is found to be out of compliance with a policy, Azure Policy can automatically correct the issue. For example, if a policy requires all resources in a certain resource group to be tagged with an app name tag, Azure Policy can automatically apply this tag to any resources that are missing it. This automatic remediation capability significantly reduces the manual effort required to maintain compliance across your Azure environment. However, recognizing that there may be legitimate reasons for certain resources to deviate from policy, Azure Policy also provides exception handling capabilities. This allows you to flag specific resources as exceptions to a policy, ensuring that automatic remediation doesn't interfere with intentional configurations. This flexibility is crucial in real-world scenarios where one-size-fits-all approaches are often impractical. Azure Policy also integrates seamlessly with Azure DevOps, extending its governance capabilities into your continuous integration and delivery pipelines. This integration allows you to apply policies during both the pre-deployment and post-deployment phases of your application lifecycle. By doing so, you can catch and prevent policy violations early in the development process, reducing the likelihood of compliance issues in production environments. Another key feature of Azure Policy is its continuous evaluation and monitoring of resources. This means that Azure Policy doesn't just check resources when they're first created or when policies are first implemented. Instead, it continuously monitors your environment, evaluating resources against policies on an ongoing basis. This ensures that your environment remains compliant even as changes occur over time. These advanced features of Azure Policy provide organizations with a powerful toolset for maintaining control over their Azure environments. Azure Policy initiatives represent a significant advancement in cloud governance, offering organizations a powerful tool to manage and enforce policies at scale. At their core, initiatives are groups of related policy definitions designed to help track compliance for larger, more comprehensive goals within your Azure environment. The concept of initiatives addresses a common challenge in policy management: how to effectively implement and monitor multiple related policies without becoming overwhelmed by the complexity. By grouping related policies together, initiatives provide a more streamlined and manageable approach to policy implementation. One of the key strengths of Azure Policy initiatives is their ability to contain multiple policy definitions. This means that a single initiative can encompass a wide range of governance requirements, from security and compliance to cost management and operational standards. For example, an initiative focused on data protection might include policies related to encryption, access controls, and data retention, all bundled into a single manageable entity. Initiatives are particularly valuable when it comes to tracking compliance. Rather than having to check compliance status for numerous individual policies, you can assess your compliance state for the entire initiative. This provides a more holistic view of your governance posture, making it easier to identify areas that need attention and to demonstrate compliance. to stakeholders or auditors. Moreover, initiatives simplify policy management by allowing you to assign and manage multiple policies as a single unit. This is especially beneficial in large or complex environments where managing individual policies could become unwieldy. With initiatives, you can apply comprehensive governance strategies with just a few clicks, significantly reducing the administrative overhead associated with policy management. By leveraging Azure policy initiatives, organizations can implement robust, comprehensive governance strategies more efficiently, ensuring that their Azure environments remain compliant, secure, and aligned with business objectives. The Enable Monitoring in Azure Security Center initiative serves as an excellent example of how Azure policy initiatives can be used to implement comprehensive governance strategies. This initiative is designed to monitor all available security recommendations for Azure resource types within Azure Security Center, providing a robust framework for maintaining a secure cloud environment. At its core, this initiative aims to ensure that your Azure resources are continuously monitored for potential security vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. It achieves this by grouping together over 100 separate policy definitions, each targeting a specific aspect of security monitoring and compliance. One of the key policies included in this initiative is Monitor Unencrypted SQL Database in Security Center. This policy is crucial for identifying potential data protection risks. It continuously scans your environment for SQL databases and servers that are not encrypted, flagging them for review and remediation. By doing so, it helps ensure that sensitive data stored in your databases is protected from unauthorized access. Another important policy within this initiative is Monitor OS Vulnerabilities in Security Center. This policy focuses on server-level security, monitoring for servers that don't meet the configured OS vulnerability baseline. It helps identify systems that may be vulnerable to known exploits, allowing you to prioritize patching and updates to maintain a secure environment. The initiative also includes a policy to monitor missing endpoint protection in Security Center. This policy checks for servers that don't have an installed endpoint protection agent, which is crucial for defending against malware and other threats. By flagging systems without proper endpoint protection, this policy helps ensure that all your servers have this critical security measure in place. These are just a few examples of the many policies included in the Enable Monitoring in Azure Security Center initiative. With over 100 policy definitions, this initiative provides comprehensive coverage of security monitoring across your Azure environment. It exemplifies how initiatives can be used to implement complex, multifaceted governance strategies in a manageable way. By assigning this single initiative, you're effectively implementing a wide-ranging security monitoring strategy, covering everything from data encryption to vulnerability management and endpoint protection. This approach not only simplifies the process of implementing these policies, but also provides a unified view of your security posture across these various dimensions. Azure policy initiatives offer a multitude of benefits that make them an invaluable tool for organizations seeking to implement robust governance strategies in their Azure environments. These benefits extend beyond simple policy enforcement, providing advantages in terms of management efficiency, compliance tracking, and overall governance effectiveness. One of the primary benefits of using Azure policy initiatives is the simplification of policy management at scale. In large or complex Azure environments, managing individual policies can quickly become overwhelming. Initiatives allow you to group related policies together, enabling you to assign, manage, and review multiple policies as a single unit. This streamlined approach significantly reduces the administrative overhead associated with policy management, allowing your IT teams to focus on more strategic tasks. Initiatives also enable more comprehensive compliance tracking. Instead of having to check compliance status for numerous individual policies, you can assess your compliance state for entire initiatives. This provides a more holistic view of your governance posture, making it easier to identify areas that need attention and to demonstrate compliance to stakeholders or auditors. For example, with an initiative like Enable Monitoring in Azure Security Center, you can quickly gauge your overall security monitoring compliance across multiple dimensions with a single compliance check. Another key advantage of initiatives is that they facilitate quick implementation of governance strategies. Rather than having to assign multiple individual policies, you can implement a comprehensive set of governance rules by assigning a single initiative. This is particularly valuable when you need to quickly apply governance controls to new subscriptions or resources, or when you need to respond rapidly to new compliance requirements. Initiatives also provide a more holistic view of your compliance state. By grouping related policies together, initiatives allow you to see the bigger picture of your governance efforts. This can help in identifying patterns or systemic issues that might not be apparent when looking at individual policies in isolation. Azure Resource Locks serve as a critical safeguard in cloud resource management, providing an additional layer of protection to prevent accidental or unauthorized changes to your Azure resources. In the dynamic environment of cloud computing, where multiple team members may have access to resources, the risk of unintended modifications or deletions is ever present. Resource locks address this challenge head-on, offering a robust mechanism to maintain the integrity and availability of your crucial Azure assets. The primary purpose of resource locks is to prevent the accidental deletion or modification of resources. Even in environments where Azure role-based access control, Azure RBAC policies are meticulously implemented, there remains a risk that individuals with the appropriate level of access could inadvertently delete or alter critical cloud resources. Resource locks provide an extra barrier against such unintended actions, ensuring that your vital infrastructure remains intact and operational. One of the key strengths of Azure Resource Locks is their flexibility in application. They can be applied at various levels within your Azure hierarchy, from individual resources to entire resource groups, or even at the subscription level. This hierarchical approach allows for granular control over which resources are protected and to what extent. Furthermore, resource locks follow an inheritance model. When you apply a lock to a resource group, all the resources within that group automatically inherit the lock. This inheritance feature simplifies the process of securing multiple related resources and ensures consistent protection across your Azure environment. It's important to note that resource locks complement rather than replace Azure RBAC. While RBAC controls who has access to Azure resources and what actions they can perform, resource locks add an additional layer of protection that applies even to users with high-level permissions. This dual approach provides a more comprehensive security strategy for your Azure resources. By leveraging Azure Resource Locks, organizations can significantly enhance the protection of their critical cloud resources, minimizing the risk of costly mistakes and ensuring the continued availability and integrity of their Azure infrastructure. Azure offers two distinct types of resource locks, each designed to provide a specific level of protection for your resources. Understanding these lock types is crucial for implementing an effective resource protection strategy in your Azure environment. The first type is the delete lock. As the name suggests, a delete lock prevents resources from being deleted. However, it's important to note that this lock type still allows for modifications to the resource. Users with appropriate permissions can still read and update the resource, but they cannot delete it. This lock type is particularly useful for resources that may need frequent updates or configuration changes, but which are too critical to risk accidental deletion. The second type is the read-only lock. This lock type provides a higher level of protection by preventing both deletion and modification of the resource. When a read-only lock is applied, authorized users can still read the resource's properties and data, but they cannot make any changes to it, nor can they delete it. Applying a read-only lock is similar to restricting all authorized users to the permissions granted by the reader role in Azure RBAC. The choice between these two lock types depends on your specific needs and the nature of the resource being protected. For resources that require frequent updates but should never be deleted, a delete lock would be appropriate. On the other hand, for resources that should remain in a fixed state and not be altered in any way, a read-only lock would be the better choice. It's worth noting that these locks apply even to users with high-level permissions. This means that even administrators or owners of a subscription or resource group will be prevented from deleting or modifying, in the case of read-only, locked resources unless they explicitly remove the lock first. This feature ensures that critical resources remain protected even against accidental actions by privileged users. By providing these two types of locks, Azure offers flexibility in how you protect your resources. You can tailor your protection strategy to the specific requirements of each resource or resource group, ensuring that your critical Azure assets remain secure and available, while still allowing for necessary operations and management tasks. Implementing Azure resource locks effectively requires careful consideration and planning. By following best practices, you can ensure that your critical resources are protected without hindering legitimate operations. Here are some key recommendations for using resource locks in your Azure environment. First and foremost, it's crucial to apply locks to your most critical resources and resource groups. Identify the assets that are essential to your operations or that contain sensitive data. These might include production databases, key virtual machines, or resource groups containing core infrastructure components. By prioritizing these critical assets, you ensure that your most valuable resources are protected against accidental deletion or modification. When deciding between lock types, consider using delete locks for resources that can be modified but not deleted. This is particularly useful for resources that require frequent updates or configuration changes. For example, a web application that needs regular content updates could benefit from a delete lock, allowing for modifications while preventing accidental deletion. Implement read-only locks for resources that should remain unchanged. This is ideal for resources that are configured optimally and don't require frequent modifications. For instance, a carefully tuned database or a finalized machine learning model might be good candidates for read-only locks. It's important to regularly review and update your resource locks as your needs change. As your Azure environment evolves, so too will your protection requirements. Set up a periodic review process to ensure that your locks are still appropriate and aligned with your current operational needs. Remember that while resource locks are a powerful tool, they should be used judiciously. Overuse of locks, particularly read-only locks, can hinder legitimate operations and create frustration for your team. Azure provides multiple interfaces for managing resource locks, offering flexibility to suit different administrative preferences and automation needs. Understanding these management options is crucial for effectively implementing and maintaining your resource lock strategy. The Azure portal offers a user-friendly graphical interface for managing resource locks. To access lock management in the portal, navigate to the Settings section of any resource's settings pane. This intuitive approach allows you to view existing locks, add new ones, or remove locks with just a few clicks. The visual nature of the portal makes it easy to understand the current lock status of your resources at a glance. For those who prefer command-line interfaces or need to automate lock management, Azure PowerShell provides a powerful set of CMD-lets. With PowerShell, you can script lock operations, making it easy to apply consistent lock policies across multiple resources or subscriptions. This is particularly useful in large environments where manual management through the portal might become cumbersome. The Azure Command Line Interface, CLI, offers another command line option for managing resource locks. Like PowerShell, the Azure CLI allows for scripting and automation of lock management tasks. It's particularly useful for cross-platform management, as the Azure CLI can be used on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux systems. For those embracing infrastructure as code practices, Azure Resource Manager templates provide a way to define and deploy resource locks alongside your resources. By including lock definitions in your ARM templates, you can ensure that critical resources are protected from the moment they're deployed. This approach helps maintain consistency across environments and makes it easier to version control your lock configurations. Each of these management interfaces has its strengths, and many organizations use a combination of them to suit different scenarios. For example, you might use ARM templates for initial deployment and lock configuration, PowerShell scripts for bulk operations, and the Azure portal for quick ad hoc changes or reviews. By leveraging these various management options, you can implement a robust and flexible approach to resource lock management, ensuring that your critical Azure resources remain protected while still allowing for efficient administration and automation. While resource locks provide crucial protection against accidental changes or deletions, there are times when modifications to locked resources are necessary. Azure has implemented a deliberate two-step process for modifying locked resources, ensuring that changes are made intentionally and with full awareness. The first step in modifying a locked resource is to remove the resource lock. This step is crucial and serves as a safeguard against accidental modifications. By requiring the explicit removal of the lock, Azure ensures that the user is fully aware that they are about to make changes to a protected resource. This step alone can prevent many unintended alterations, as it forces a moment of consideration before proceeding. Once the lock is removed, you can apply the desired changes to the resource. At this point, the resource is treated like any other unlocked resource in your Azure environment. You can make modifications, updates, or even delete the resource if necessary, subject to your Azure Role-Based Access Control (RBAC) permissions. After making the required changes, it's generally a good practice to consider reapplying the lock. This ensures that the resource returns to its protected state, safeguarding it against future accidental modifications or deletions. The decision to reapply the lock should be based on your organization's policies and the criticality of the resource. It's important to note that resource locks apply regardless of RBAC permissions. This means that even if you're an owner of the resource or have high-level permissions in the subscription, you must still remove the lock before you can perform any blocked activity. This feature ensures that the locks provide an additional layer of protection beyond standard access controls. This two-step process for modifying locked resources strikes a balance between protection and flexibility. It allows for necessary changes to be made when required, while still providing a strong safeguard against accidental or unauthorized modifications. By understanding and respecting this process, you can maintain the integrity of your critical Azure resources while still allowing for necessary updates and changes. Effective management of resource locks is crucial for maintaining a secure and well-governed Azure environment. By following best practices, you can ensure that your locks provide maximum protection while still allowing for efficient operations. Here are some key recommendations for managing your Azure resource locks. First, it's essential to implement a clear process for lock removal and modification. This process should define who has the authority to remove locks, under what circumstances locks can be removed, and how changes should be documented. Having a well-defined process helps prevent unauthorized lock removals and ensures that all modifications are tracked and justifiable. Regularly auditing and reviewing your resource locks is another crucial practice. As your Azure environment evolves, your lock strategy may need to change. Periodic reviews allow you to ensure that all critical resources are appropriately protected and that locks are not hindering legitimate operations. Consider setting up a schedule for these reviews, perhaps quarterly or biannually, depending on the pace of change in your environment. When creating locks, use descriptive names and notes. Clear, informative lock names and descriptions can help administrators quickly understand the purpose of each lock and the potential impact of removing it. This practice is particularly important in large environments where multiple administrators may be working on the same resources. Educating team members about the purpose and impact of locks is vital for their effective use. This education can help prevent frustration and ensure that locks are respected and properly managed across your organization. It's also a good practice to document your lock strategy and keep it updated as your Azure environment evolves. The Microsoft Service Trust Portal stands as a cornerstone resource for organizations seeking comprehensive insights into Microsoft's security, privacy, and compliance practices. This portal serves as a centralized hub, providing users with access to a wealth of information that is crucial for understanding and leveraging Microsoft's cloud services securely and compliantly. At its core, the Service Trust Portal offers detailed documentation on Microsoft's implementation of controls and processes that safeguard its cloud services and the customer data within them. This level of transparency is invaluable for organizations that need to assess the security and compliance posture of Microsoft's services before adoption or as part of ongoing due diligence. The portal covers a wide range of topics, including but not limited to data protection measures, privacy policies, compliance certifications, and security practices. This comprehensive coverage ensures that users can find relevant information regardless of their specific security or compliance concerns. One of the key features of the Service Trust Portal is its provision of authenticated access to sensitive compliance materials. To access certain resources, users must sign in with their Microsoft Cloud Services account, Microsoft Entra organization account. This authentication process ensures that sensitive information is only accessible to authorized individuals. Additionally, users are required to review and accept a non-disclosure agreement for compliance materials, further emphasizing the confidential nature of some of the provided information. The Service Trust Portal can be accessed at https://servicetrustmicrosoft.com. This easy-to-remember URL serves as the gateway to a wealth of resources that can help organizations make informed decisions about their use of Microsoft Cloud services, ensure compliance with various regulations, and understand the robust security measures in place to protect their data. The Microsoft Service Trust Portal is designed with user-friendliness and efficiency in mind, offering a range of features to help users navigate and utilize the vast amount of information available. Understanding these features is key to maximizing the value of the portal for your organization. The main menu of the Service Trust Portal is intuitively organized into several key categories. The Service Trust Portal option provides a quick access hyperlink to return to the portal's homepage from anywhere within the site. This simple navigation feature ensures that users can easily reorient themselves and start fresh if needed. One of the most useful features is the My Library section. This personalized area allows users to save or pin documents that are particularly relevant or frequently accessed. By curating a personal collection of documents, users can quickly retrieve important information without having to search through the entire portal each time. Moreover, the My Library feature includes a notification system, allowing users to receive alerts when documents in their library are updated. This ensures that users always have access to the most current information on topics of interest to them. The All Documents section serves as a comprehensive repository for all documents available on the Service Trust Portal. This centralized location makes it easy for users to browse or search for specific information across the entire range of available resources. From this section, users can also pin documents to their My Library, streamlining the process of building a personalized resource collection. It's important to note that Service Trust Portal reports and documents are typically available for download for at least 12 months after publishing. or until a new version of the document becomes available. This policy ensures that users have access to historical information, while also encouraging the use of the most up-to-date resources. To maximize the benefits of the Microsoft Service Trust Portal, it's important to adopt certain best practices in its use. These practices can help ensure that you're getting the most value out of the portal and effectively managing the wealth of information it provides. First and foremost, it's recommended to regularly review and update your My Library. The My Library feature is a powerful tool for organizing the documents most relevant to your role or organization. By periodically reassessing the contents of your My Library, you can ensure that it remains a curated, up-to-date collection of the most pertinent resources. This practice helps in maintaining an efficient workflow and quick access to critical information. Setting up notifications for critical documents is another valuable practice. The Service Trust Portal allows you to receive alerts when documents in your My Library are updated. By enabling these notifications for key documents, such as those related to compliance standards relevant to your industry, or specific security measures you're implementing, you can ensure that you're always working with the most current information. This proactive approach helps in staying ahead of changes and maintaining ongoing compliance. Familiarizing yourself with the All Documents section is crucial for making the most of the portal. While your My Library serves as a personalized resource, the All Documents section is your gateway to the full breadth of information available. Regular exploration of this section can help you discover new resources that might be relevant to your evolving needs or interests. It's a good practice to periodically browse this section, even if you're not looking for specific information. Now it's time for Knowledge Check. How can you prevent creation of non-compliant resources without having to manually evaluate each resource? Correct answer: A. Azure Policy Explanation. Azure Policy is the correct tool for preventing the creation of non-compliant resources without manual evaluation. It allows you to create, assign, and manage policies that enforce different rules across your resource configurations. These policies can automatically prevent non-compliant resources from being created, ensuring that all resources adhere to corporate standards and compliance requirements. Azure Purview is primarily used for data governance and doesn't prevent resource creation. Azure Resource Monitor is not a real Azure service. It might be confused with Azure Monitor, which is used for collecting and analyzing data from your Azure resources, but doesn't prevent resource creation. What's the best way to prevent inadvertent deletion of a resource? Correct answer: C. Azure Resource Locks. Explanation: Azure Resource Locks are specifically designed to prevent accidental deletion or modification of resources. They provide an additional layer of protection beyond Azure Role-Based Access Control, RBAC. When a delete lock is applied to a resource, even users with appropriate permissions cannot delete the resource without first removing the lock. Azure Policy is used for enforcing standards and assessing compliance across your Azure resources, but it's not the primary tool for preventing accidental deletion. Microsoft Purview, formerly Azure Purview, is a unified data governance service that helps manage and govern your on-premises, multi-cloud, and software-as-a-service (SaaS) data, but it doesn't provide direct protection against resource deletion. Azure provides a comprehensive suite of tools designed to facilitate efficient management and interaction with your Azure environment. These tools cater to different user preferences and use cases, ensuring that whether you prefer graphical interfaces or command line operations, you have the right tool at your disposal. The Azure portal stands as the primary graphical interface for managing Azure resources. It offers a user-friendly web-based console that allows for intuitive navigation and management of your Azure environment. The portal is particularly beneficial for those who prefer visual interfaces or are new to Azure, as it provides a clear, organized view of your resources and services. For those who prefer command line interfaces or need to automate tasks, Azure PowerShell is an invaluable tool. It's a task-based command line shell and scripting language built on .NET, specifically designed for managing Azure resources. Azure PowerShell allows for complex automation scenarios and is particularly popular among Windows administrators who are already familiar with PowerShell. The Azure Command Line Interface, CLI, offers another command line option for managing Azure resources. It's designed to be easy to learn and perfect for those who prefer a bash-like interface. The Azure CLI is cross-platform, supporting Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, making it a versatile choice for managing Azure across different operating systems. Each of these tools has its strengths and is suited for different scenarios. The Azure portal is excellent for visual management and learning. Azure PowerShell is ideal for Windows-centric environments and complex scripting, and the Azure CLI is perfect for cross-platform management and for those who prefer bash-like interfaces. The Azure portal serves as the primary graphical interface for managing and interacting with your Azure environment. It's designed to provide a user-friendly, intuitive way to handle everything from simple tasks to complex cloud management operations. As a web-based unified console, the Azure portal offers a centralized location for managing all aspects of your Azure subscription. This means you can access and manage your resources from anywhere, using any device with a web browser, without the need to install any additional software. One of the key advantages of the Azure portal is that it serves as an alternative to command line tools. While command line interfaces like Azure PowerShell and Azure CLI offer powerful scripting and automation capabilities, they can be intimidating for users who are more comfortable with graphical interfaces. The Azure portal bridges this gap by providing a visual way to perform tasks that would otherwise require command line expertise. The portal's graphical user interface for managing Azure subscriptions is designed with user experience in mind. It presents information in a clear, organized manner, using visual elements like charts, graphs, and customizable dashboards to help you understand your Azure environment at a glance. This visual approach can be particularly helpful for tasks like monitoring resource usage, understanding cost breakdowns, or getting a high-level overview of your Azure estate. Moreover, the Azure portal is not just a passive interface for viewing information. It provides full management capabilities, allowing you to create, modify, and delete resources, set up monitoring and alerts, configure access controls, and perform virtually any other task related to your Azure subscription. The Azure portal offers a wide range of capabilities designed to streamline the management of your Azure environment and enhance your productivity. These features cater to various needs, from basic resource management to complex cloud deployments. One of the portal's key capabilities is its ability to help you build, manage, and monitor everything from simple web apps to complex cloud deployments. This means you can use the portal to create new resources, configure existing ones, set up monitoring and alerts, and track the performance of your applications and services. The portal provides a unified view of all your resources, making it easier to understand the relationships between different components of your cloud infrastructure. The ability to create custom dashboards is another powerful feature of the Azure portal. These dashboards allow you to organize your view of resources in a way that makes sense for your specific needs. You can pin frequently accessed resources, charts, or metrics to your dashboard, creating a personalized command center for your Azure environment. This customization capability is particularly useful for teams managing large, complex Azure estates, as it allows each team member to focus on the resources and metrics most relevant to their role. Accessibility is a key consideration in the Azure portal's design. The portal offers various accessibility options that can be configured for an optimal experience. These include high contrast themes, screen reader compatibility, and keyboard navigation options. By providing these accessibility features, Azure ensures that the portal is usable by as wide an audience as possible, regardless of their specific needs or preferences. The Azure portal is designed with resiliency and continuous availability in mind. It maintains a presence in every Azure data center, which provides several benefits. This distributed architecture makes the portal resilient to individual data center failures, ensuring that you can always access and manage your resources even in the event of localized outages. Additionally, by being close to users, this design helps avoid network slowdowns, providing a responsive experience regardless of your geographical location. Another significant advantage of the Azure portal is its continuous update model. The portal is constantly being improved and updated with new features and optimizations. These updates are rolled out seamlessly, without any downtime for maintenance activities. This means you always have access to the latest features and improvements without any interruption to your workflow. Azure Cloud Shell is a powerful and versatile tool that brings the command line experience directly to your browser, eliminating the need for local installations and configurations. This browser-based shell environment is designed to streamline Azure resource management and automation tasks for developers, DevOps professionals, and IT administrators. One of the key advantages of Azure Cloud Shell is its flexibility in supporting both Azure PowerShell and the Azure Command Line Interface, CLI. This means users can choose the shell environment they're most comfortable with, whether it's the PowerShell syntax or the bash-style commands of the Azure CLI. This flexibility allows team members with different backgrounds and preferences to work efficiently within the same platform. The browser-based nature of Azure Cloud Shell offers significant benefits in terms of accessibility and convenience. There's no need to install or maintain any software on your local machine, which not only saves time but also ensures you're always working with the latest version of the tools. You can access Azure Cloud Shell from any device with a web browser, making it easy to manage your Azure resources on the go. Authentication is another area where Azure Cloud Shell shines. When you log into Azure and launch Cloud Shell, it automatically authenticates using your Azure credentials. This seamless authentication process eliminates the need for separate login procedures for different tools, enhancing both security and user experience. Accessing Azure Cloud Shell is straightforward. It's available directly from the Azure portal. Users can simply click on the Cloud Shell icon to launch the environment, making it quick and easy to switch between graphical and command line interfaces as needed. Azure PowerShell is a powerful scripting environment specifically designed for managing and automating Azure resources. It leverages the familiar PowerShell syntax, making it an excellent choice for Windows administrators and developers who are already comfortable with PowerShell scripting. At its core, Azure PowerShell uses CMDlets, pronounced commandlets, to interact with Azure resources. These CMDlets call the Azure REST API, allowing users to perform a wide range of management tasks in Azure. The CMDlet-based approach provides a consistent and intuitive way to work with Azure services, from simple, one-off changes to complex, multi-step operations. One of the key strengths of Azure PowerShell is its ability to handle both discrete tasks and orchestrate complex operations. For simple tasks, individual CMDlets can be run to make quick changes or retrieve information. For more complex scenarios, multiple CMDlets can be combined into scripts, enabling the automation of intricate processes such as setting up entire infrastructure environments or performing routine maintenance tasks across multiple resources. The scripting capabilities of Azure PowerShell are particularly valuable for creating repeatable and automatable processes. By capturing a series of commands in a script, you can ensure consistent execution of tasks, reduce human error, and save time on routine operations. This is especially useful in DevOps scenarios, where automation and repeatability are crucial. While Azure PowerShell is available through Azure Cloud Shell, providing a no-installation option for quick access, it can also be installed locally on Windows, Linux, and Mac platforms. This flexibility allows users to work with Azure PowerShell in their preferred environment, whether that's through a browser or on their local machine. For those already familiar with PowerShell syntax, Azure PowerShell offers a natural extension of their skills into the cloud management domain. It provides a powerful toolset for managing Azure resources, combining the flexibility and scripting capabilities of PowerShell with specific CMDlets designed for Azure operations. The Azure Command Line Interface, CLI, is a powerful alternative to Azure PowerShell, offering equivalent functionality but with a different syntax. Designed for those who prefer working with Bash commands, the Azure CLI provides a familiar environment for Linux and Mac OS users, while still being fully supported on Windows. Functionally, the Azure CLI is on par with Azure PowerShell. It allows users to perform the same range of tasks, from simple one-off commands to complex scripted operations. The primary difference lies in the syntax. While Azure PowerShell uses PowerShell CMDlets, the Azure CLI uses Bash-style commands. This makes it an ideal choice for users who are more comfortable with Bash scripting or who work primarily in Linux environments. Like Azure PowerShell, the Azure CLI excels at handling both discrete tasks and orchestrating complex operations. Users can easily run individual commands for quick actions or combine multiple commands into scripts for more intricate processes. This flexibility makes the Azure CLI a versatile tool for a wide range of Azure management and automation scenarios. The Azure CLI is available through Azure Cloud Shell, providing a convenient, browser-based option for those who don't want to install anything locally. However, for those who prefer working on their local machine, the Azure CLI can also be installed on Windows, Linux, and Mac platforms. This flexibility in deployment options ensures that users can work with the Azure CLI in whatever environment best suits their needs. One of the key advantages of the Azure CLI is its cross-platform nature. The consistent experience across different operating systems makes it an excellent choice for teams working in mixed environments, or for individuals who frequently switch between different platforms. Ultimately, the choice between Azure PowerShell and the Azure CLI often comes down to personal preference and existing skill sets. Both tools offer robust capabilities for managing Azure resources, with the primary difference being the command syntax. Azure Arc represents a significant leap forward in hybrid and multi-cloud management, addressing the growing complexity of diverse IT environments. As organizations increasingly adopt hybrid and multi-cloud strategies, the need for a unified management approach becomes crucial. Azure Arc rises to this challenge by extending the capabilities of Azure Resource Manager, ARM, beyond the boundaries of Azure's cloud environment. At its core, Azure Arc simplifies governance and management by providing a consistent multi-cloud and on-premises management platform. This consistency is key to reducing the complexity and potential for errors that often arise when managing resources across different environments with disparate tools and interfaces. One of the primary benefits of Azure Arc is its ability to extend Azure's robust compliance and monitoring capabilities to hybrid and multi-cloud configurations. This means that organizations can apply the same governance policies, security controls, and monitoring practices across all their resources, regardless of where they're hosted. This unified approach not only enhances security and compliance, but also streamlines operations and reduces the learning curve for IT staff. Azure Arc achieves this by projecting non-Azure resources into ARM, effectively allowing these resources to be managed as if they were running in Azure. This projection enables the use of familiar Azure services and management capabilities across the entire IT estate, breaking down the silos that often exist between different cloud and on-premises environments. Importantly, Azure Arc supports both traditional IT operations, ITOps, and modern DevOps practices. This flexibility allows organizations to gradually introduce DevOps methodologies and cloud-native patterns into their environment without disrupting existing processes. By bridging these two worlds, Azure Arc facilitates a smoother transition to modern IT practices while maximizing the value of existing investments and skill sets. Azure Arc offers a rich set of capabilities designed to simplify and enhance the management of diverse IT environments. These capabilities collectively enable organizations to bring Azure's powerful management tools and services to resources running outside of Azure, creating a truly unified management experience. One of the key capabilities of Azure Arc is its ability to project non-Azure resources into Azure Resource Manager, ARM. This projection allows these external resources to be managed using the same tools and interfaces as native Azure resources. As a result, administrators can use familiar Azure portals, APIs, and services to manage resources regardless of where they're actually hosted. This capability extends to the management of multi-cloud and hybrid resources. With Azure Arc, virtual machines, Kubernetes clusters, and databases running on-premises or in other cloud platforms can be managed as if they were running in Azure. This unified management approach significantly reduces the complexity of operating in multi-cloud and hybrid environments, as it eliminates the need to switch between different management tools and interfaces for different platforms. Azure Arc also enables the use of familiar Azure services and management capabilities across all environments. This means that powerful Azure features such as Azure Policy, Azure Security Center, and Azure Sentinel can be applied to resources running outside of Azure. This capability ensures consistent governance, security, and operational practices across the entire IT estate. Another significant capability of Azure Arc is its support for both traditional IT ops and modern DevOps practices. This flexibility allows organizations to gradually introduce DevOps methodologies and cloud-native patterns into their environment without disrupting existing processes. It provides a bridge between traditional and modern IT practices, facilitating a smooth transition and allowing organizations to leverage the best of both worlds. Azure Arc also introduces the concept of custom locations, which acts as an abstraction layer on top of Azure Arc-enabled Kubernetes clusters and cluster extensions. This feature allows organizations to deploy Azure services to any Arc-enabled Kubernetes cluster, treating it as a location for deploying Azure resources. This capability further extends the reach of Azure services and enables truly distributed application architectures. By providing these capabilities, Azure Arc enables organizations to seamlessly integrate diverse IT resources into the Azure ecosystem, creating a unified, consistent, and powerful management platform across all environments. Azure Arc extends its management capabilities to a variety of resource types hosted outside of Azure, enabling organizations to bring Azure's powerful management tools and services to a wide range of IT assets. Understanding the types of resources supported by Azure Arc is crucial for organizations looking to leverage this technology to unify their management approach. Currently, Azure Arc supports the management of several key resource types. Servers. Azure Arc can manage physical and virtual servers running Windows or Linux, regardless of their location. This includes servers in on-premises data centers, edge locations, or other cloud providers. By connecting these servers to Azure Arc, organizations can apply Azure management capabilities such as Azure Policy, Azure Security Center, and Azure Monitor.Kubernetes clusters. Azure Arc supports the management of Kubernetes clusters running in any environment, including on-premises, edge locations, or other cloud providers. This capability allows organizations to apply consistent management, governance, and deployment practices across all their Kubernetes clusters. Azure Data Services. Azure Arc enables the deployment of Azure Data Services on any Kubernetes cluster. This includes services like Azure SQL Managed Instance and Azure PostgreSQL Hyperscale, allowing organizations to run these managed database services in their environment of choice while still benefiting from Azure's management capabilities. SQL Server. Azure Arc extends Azure management capabilities to SQL Server instances running outside of Azure. This allows organizations to manage their SQL Server fleet consistently, regardless of where the instances are hosted. Virtual machines. Preview. Azure Arc is expanding its capabilities to include the management of virtual machines running in other cloud providers or on-premises hypervisors. While this feature is still in preview,